What's going on, y'all? GT Jesse here, back with yet another Gran Turismo 7 livery editor video. And you may be wondering why I'm making a third livery editor video in Gran Turismo 7. And the reason why is because of you guys, actually. Since I made my last video, which was titled Advanced Livery Tips and Tricks, if you haven't watched it yet, definitely would recommend taking a peek at it. But since I made that video, there's been a lot of dialogue and a lot of engagement from you guys in the comments. Some people were asking questions that actually prompted me to go out and learn new techniques, and I want to share those techniques with you. And other people have also provided their own individual tips and tricks and things that they've done in the past that have made creating liveries easier and better for them. So I want to share those tips with you, and I want to share some of the new learnings that I've had as you guys have prompted me to dig in there and answer your questions. So if you like this kind of content, please do hit that thumbs up button. If you have questions or comments, please do leave them below. And if you want to see more like this in the future, of course, please do subscribe to the channel for more Gran Turismo 7 content as I do progress along in the game. So the first community tip comes from Mr. Ramen here, and his tip is that UK plates are yellow in the back and white in the front. So Mr. Ramen, I had no idea. I'm going to go on ahead and update this McLaren 650 to have a white UK plate in the front, and I'm going to share your tip with the world because I'm sure there are other people out there just like myself who had no idea. The next tip actually came in the form of a question from Crazy Joe 101, and he was asking whether or not anybody knew how to get the windscreen banner to go right across the windscreen. On some cars it's fine, but on a few cars they have black boxes on each side. He doesn't think it's the car because he's seen liveries for the same car that don't have that problem. And so as you can see here, I'm working on the Jaguar Le Mans car. And the editable area for this, the decal for the windshield banner is basically where I have this red decal. And he's talking about those black sections on the side and black section above. Look on the left here, windshield banner. That little icon actually lets you change the entire color of the entire windscreen banner. So I didn't know that. Joe prompted me to go out and figure that out. I wanted to share that with you guys. That's how you update the color of the entire windscreen decal. Okay, so I think that this next comment probably receives the Comment of the Year award, and it comes from Richard Roberts here. And his tip is, if the decal, like the red and black swoosh, has been applied with aligned with camera, you can use depth set to 10 to make it appear on the other side of the car with no need to duplicate. Then if you decide to manipulate or edit it further, both sides move simultaneously. So if you look at this decal I've applied here, it's a swooshing decal. I go to projection, it's aligned with camera. I flipped it over to surface just to test things out here. I set the depth all the way to 10. I'm going to set the angle all the way to 10, and you'll see it kind of does just like it goes across the back of the car. But then if you flip it to align with camera, it actually appears on both sides of the car now. So mind blown. I had no idea. If you guys all knew that and you didn't share it with me after the last video, shame on you. But I thought that tip was just way too valuable not to share. And so Richard Roberts, thank you so much for the tip, and hope this helps you guys out. All right, next comment here. It's actually not a tip or a question at all. It's just a comment that resonated with me and I wanted to share with everybody. And this comment comes from a friend with the anime profile picture. I apologize, I don't know how to read your username. But the comment says, even if I watch videos like these, I never learn. So I let my big brother or friends do the work for me. And yeah, I hear you, man. Sending words of encouragement and positive vibes your way. Everybody watching this, let's get a big thumbs up for all the big brothers out there. All right, so this next tip comes from John Williamson, and John, actually showcasing your comment, but because you were the first person to make this comment, but several other people made this comment as well, and I think it's because I started my last video by saying, once you're in the livery editor, there's no way to save custom decals, and there actually is. And I don't know if this was an update after the fact, or I just hadn't learned how to do it yet, but when you are searching for custom decals here, all you have to do is press triangle, and you can add that decal to your favorites or add it to your collection. And it's not only available for you to reuse for the duration of this livery that you're creating, but it'll save in your library or your collection or your favorites list for you to be able to re-access in the future with any future liveries that you create. So thank you, John, for the comments, and everybody else who spoke up and provided their input on that point as well. Okay, next question came from Derek War, and his comment was, I still can't get things to appear in the back of the car, like license plates and such. And my reply was basically that the back of the cars are finicky and you got to play with the projection areas to get it to work, and that's not inaccurate, but somebody had replied to this and basically said, adjust to align with camera, and look at this decal, watch how it behaves, like it's, you know, it's not behaving right. And then when I switch from align with camera to align with surface, I think I got this mixed up a second ago, but you want it to be on align with surface, and when you do flip to align with surface, it's basically going to make it so that the decal appears on the back of the car unencumbered. So it's not always going to work the way that you would want it to, so you got to play with it a little bit, but that's a great go-to if you're having issues with decals appearing on the back of your car. Okay, so this next tip is basically going to be how to create a fine outline around your lettering decals. And so this TCR logo, I wanted to give it just a faint red outline. And so all you have to do is create a duplicate layer and then change the color of the base layer to whatever color you want your outline to be. And so you don't have to stretch and skew it. You'll see here, it looks pretty good as is. I wanted it to be a little bit more pronounced, so I just barely stretched and skewed it a little bit, but it's actually not necessary. You'll get a nice finite outline without having to stretch or skew at all. Alright y'all, that basically wraps up the video. So just want to say thanks again for watching if you made it this far. If you did and you enjoyed the video, please do go on ahead and hit that thumbs up button. The rest of the video is basically going to be a time lapse, or I should say a compilation of time lapses from this livery that I created. And it's not how I created the livery start to finish, right? I don't think anybody really needs to see how to put like a Dunlop sticker on a car, but it is more or less just a time lapse of some of the more complicated areas of the car. So this is a replica livery, and since it is a replica, you don't have the creative freedom to just do like what's kind of easy. You're following a pre-designed template, right? So I'm trying to get this livery to be almost identical to the Jaguar livery, but with a different color scheme, with our team TCR color schemes. And so with that, I have to try and get these shapes to do things and manipulate all of these different shapes in ways that will recreate the shapes that were in that livery. So I find it personally very helpful to watch other people when they are doing some of these more complicated kind of shape fittings and such, just to see like, all right, what actually goes into it, and it can give me ideas for ways that I might be able to make liveries more efficiently in the future. This livery was one of the harder ones that I'd done. There's just a lot of curves and a lot of pinstripes. You have to really think about how to really make the most out of negative space. And so either way, I think that it'll be helpful for y'all to be able to just kind of watch the process. So these are sped up to 4x. So if you want to slow down the video to 0.25x, you might be able to watch it in more of a real-time setup. But either way, I hope you found this video helpful and got some value out of it. Thanks again for watching, and have a great rest of your day.